Hello, Flosstube. My name is Claire and welcome to my channel. This is my Flosstube number 26 and it's only been about a month since my last video, so, we're looking good. Today is Monday, the 6th of March, and so I'm going to tell you all about my February update, everything I did last month. Okay? Um, I've got lots of whips to show you today. Actually, some FFOs, fully finished objects, which hardly ever happens for me, and a bit of Stitchy haul and some plans. So, lots to do. I've had some great Stitchy groups that I've been to since I last spoke to you. There's this a coffee shop near where I live that does a crafternoon every Tuesday afternoon, and because I work for myself, I'm a psychotherapeutic counsellor and I do my own hours. So I have blocked out Tuesday afternoons so that every week I can go along to the crafternoon, which is it's working out beautifully. There's sofas, friends, bacon butties, and stitching, and yeah, it's what more can you want, really? And last week, not only did I have that one to go to, but on Tuesday morning, a craft group from my church, which hasn't met for a long time now, suddenly the messages were flying out saying, "Can anybody come around for a cup of tea and a bit of a stitch on Tuesday morning?" So I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I had all of Tuesday last week stitching with different friends, which was just delicious. Really, it was wonderful, and I feel so privileged to be able to do that with such lovely people. Um, Apart from that, life has been quite busy over February. So I've stitched on quite a lot of things, but I haven't got a huge amount of progress on them because I've just been here, there, and everywhere seeing lots of people. It's okay too. That's all good. So I'm going to start with my Book of Life for February. So Book of Life by Needlework Press. And here is my February pages. Don't know if you can see that very well. It's a bit of a glare. It's all stickered up. But I had only one day in February where I didn't stitch. So I think that's not bad. Not bad. Even if I didn't get much done, at least I got my needle out. And I got one start, which I shall come to. Oh no, two starts and one finish. So we'll get to those in a minute. And next thing is today, what's in my basket? This is our March display behind me at the moment. My daughter's my 13-year-old daughter has decided that every month she's going to build me something out of Duplo. So this is the St. Patrick's Duplo effort, and our little monster has a very strange hat. I'd like to, just say neither of those are my responsibility. My responsibility is the basket. So I'm still building up my collection of things, but I will show you what we got in here this month. So we have got Fox View by Plum Street Samplers. We have the Spring Dragon, lots of beads on there. I can't remember, this was an older pattern and I can't remember who it was by. If you need to know, ask me in the comments and I'll tell you. And we have Spring Lady by Barbara Anna. We have a little raccoon that I made. We have these three little birds by Valerie Pfeiffer, and it's called Sitting Pretty. It's getting really blown out. Maybe I need to turn the light off. We'll see. This one is a sheep quirky Quaker. And I'm having a complete blank about who it is that does the quirky Quakers. I love them. I love them. But I can't remember the name. Sorry. This one is Got Luck. And that's a freebie from Plum Street Samplers. And then Lucky is Cherry Hill Stitchery. And that was a freebie for me last year. Last year, the year before? Can't remember. There we go. So that was my basket. So, FFOs. I had a couple of Stitchy friends come around on Saturday and we got out all the frames that we bought from the range and we got out our crochet cotton and sat and laced and framed up a whole bunch of finishes. And some of these finishes have been sat under my bed for a long time. The first one I want to show you has not, however, because it is a finish for this month and it is November by Country Cottage Needlework is a finish. And now this means I finished all 12 in the series because I did December 1st because I had to rechart this band and I couldn't be bothered because we were moving. So I did December 1st. I have now lost December. I don't know where I put it. I finished it 2 days before we moved house and I must have put it somewhere very safe. Can't find it. So hopefully I'll find it before December because I would want to display it up there where March currently is. So, finished November, recharted my bonfire night band to replace the pilgrims, laced it around some board very inexpertly. Job's a good one. And I laced up October as well. And then we've got some actual framed finishes. So this was my first Heaven, no, I think it was my second Heaven and Earth Designs finish. And this is Bubble Fairy Cat Face by, can't remember that either. Carrie Hawks, that's it. And I loved stitching this. And this is all in the DMC on 25 count 1/1. And I finished it years ago. It's been sat there and it's finally framed. And then the next one was You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine from Stitch Rovia, Emma Congdon. I've got the set of all three of these, but this is the only one I've finished. I have started the You Make Me Happy one, Blue Skies, I think it's called. But it's on really, really bright, bright yellow. So my daughter is very happy that I finally framed it so she could pop it on her wall. And then the next one we framed, I did not stitch this. My mum stitched this for my wedding in 2007, and it's been sat unframed ever since. I'm in such trouble with her. But finally, it is framed. And this is a beautiful frame from the range. But isn't it gorgeous? And the stitching beautiful. It is Pots of Love by Michael Powell. And we have the perfect place for this to go in the kitchen. So finally framed. And this is the biggest thing I've ever laced and framed. So Sheila, if you're watching this, thank you for all the hints and tips. And I'm so proud of myself. So those were my fully finished ones. And you saw my finish of November. And the other finish I had was a start and a finish. And it was Love Quaker by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. And it's a freebie on her blog. And I did that because I want every month I would like to do one or two little pieces that can get turned into cushions to add to the basket for next year. So that's that one. Then we come to my whips, which are work in progress. So the first one, as always, it always will be, but goodness knows how many years, 5, hopefully no more than 5, is Celestial Companion from Heaven and Earth Designs. And my goal with this piece is to do one page every 4 months. So kind of a quarter a page a month, which works out at around 2,000 stitches a month, more or less. So I do some of it most mornings and then most all Saturdays. So, oh, can you even see it? Can you even see it? There. So this section here is February section and most of March actually. I'm ahead of the game on March. So that's where she is. 5 years. It'll be done. There. And the next one I worked on was Elemental Harmony by Ink Circles with the 4 little dragons. And hardly got anything done. I think I stitched on it for kind of an hour one day. So I'm working on that dude down in the corner there. So a little bit of progress. Every stitch counts. Then I had one whip go success last month. Not quite the 2 that I wanted, but I've got one. So the piece that I called for whip go, School for Whip Go, was Santa's Trips by Barbara Anna. And I finished the second row. So there's going to be 3 rows of 3 with a border all the way around. And I finished the second row. So I'm really pleased with that. It wasn't quite finished by the time I'd done my 10 hours of whip go. So I just kept going till I'd finished the row. That was good. And then I pulled out my Teresa Wentzler Pennsylvania Dutch Heart to stitch for kind of Valentine's Day. And as ever, Teresa Wentzlers take a long time to stitch anything. So I didn't get too far. But I did quite a lot of the greenery and I stitched the bluebird. So I'll get there. I don't really have a planned finish date in mind for this piece. Next up is Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. And it was the Pride Sal for last year. And this is the first kind of hashtag I stitch my feelings piece that I do. I started that hashtag last year because there are certain pieces that I stitch that have particular meaning. And this for me is one of them. And so whenever I get it particularly incensed about an issue, then I have to stitch about it. So I'm stitching this on 1/1 full cross on 28 count even weave. And I'm still on the middle medallion. And I often get these pieces out on a Sunday, along with my Sunday stitch. And the next one was also an I Stitch My Feelings piece, which I started the week of the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. Absolutely devastating. And so I pulled out Turkish Delight and kitted it up and started it. Now I'm going to stitch it that way. There's a lot of debate. You can stitch, you can go that way, or it can go that way. I like it that way. And I chose beautiful blues to stitch it in. Deep Sea by Gentle Art and Blue Topaz by Weeks Dye Works. On grey fabric. Is it 28 count or 25 count? Can't remember. And that's as far as I've got. I am very much enjoying stitching on this. It's so delicate and the colours show up so beautifully on this fabric. I last stitched on that last night. Put a few threads in. Really enjoyable stitch. And then on Sundays, as well as the I Stitch My Feelings pieces, I also stitch on kind of a piece that relates to my faith because I'm a Christian. And so I try and stitch on something like that on Sundays. And so my Sunday stitch at the moment is Peace, Little Sheep Virtues from Little House Needleworks. And I've nearly finished it. I've just got the rest of the border to do and then to fill in around the border. And then this one's done. As you can see, while stitching on it, still in the hoop. Then my second whip go piece for February, bit of a fail really. I aim to do 10 hours and I think I got about 2 hours on this one only. So gotta catch up. And it is the Halloween Fairy Trick or Treat from Nora Corbett. There she is. And I just did a bit of her skin and it's 1/1 skin, so it takes a while. But yeah, I need to do, I've got another like 8 hours to do on her before I'm caught up on Whipco. And that's not even thinking about this month's pieces. I might have overstretched. My third I Stitch My Feelings piece is this one, Acorn Fairy. I do not have a love affair with acorns. That is not why it's an I Stitch My Feelings. But the designer is Stitchy Princess Black, and she is a Ukrainian. And she has been posting right through since the war started about how it's affecting her, and all of that kind of stuff. And it is awful. And so I think of her and that whole situation when I stitch on this. And this is as far as I have got. And then I'm probably going to get her turned into a bit of a pillow for autumn when she's finished. She's a bit of a slow goer because there's lots of itty bitty colour changes going on. And then my last whip for February. So my daughter, I was like, look, it's November, I finished the whole set. And she sat there. And my daughter is 13 and, teenager. But she never, ever, ever sasses me. She's the sweetest girl. And then she just looked at me and she went, yeah, but you don't finish mine, do you? With the whole, And I was like, oh, there's a demon in my child. What's gone on? She's turned into a teenager at last. So I thought, better had stitch on what she wants me to stitch on for a bit then, which is the Fantasy Cell, which is going to be for her. And it's the Fantasy Cell by Doreen Jones, available through Lakeside Needlecraft. And I finished the fairy. That June? Oh, hang on. No. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. The July fairy. So the only circle I've got left to complete is this one. And that's the wizard. So I'm going to make a concerted effort to stitch on this more because then I've got these to fill in and the border. But if she's beginning to sass me about it, I better do as I'm told. So that was all of the whips that I worked on in February. So quite a few whips, not a massive amount of progress, but some progress. So that's all right. So dash enhancement. Yeah, I've not been a particularly good girl when it comes to that. I keep going, well, try and reduce my spending a bit. And then things like Nashville happen. I haven't even given any money to Nashville yet. So when my order for that comes through. So, well, I have had some lovely things. So I bought my Turkish Delight pattern and kitted that up. So started that. And then I got Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. And I've been trying to buy this online for a few months now, and they don't even have it in 123 Stitch. I don't know if it's out of print or just currently unavailable for stock reasons, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And then it popped up on eBay for a reasonable price, not overpriced at all. And I was like, grabbed it. So I will be kitting this up at some point and starting it because I do like it. It's really lovely. And then I'm in the Chromatic Alchemy Fabric of the Month Club, and I get the 13 by 18 inches in 32 count even weave. And you can't see the colours in this because everything's blown out today. It's funfetti, and it's kind of a whole mixture of colours all splodged together. That was January, and February's it's kind of a purpley blue. Be good for putting kind of fantasy things on, so that'd be good. And then I bought from Yasmin's Made with Love. I bought her Polish sampler. She is going to be running the London Marathon in aid of MenCap, which I think is fantastic. It's such a good charity, and good on her for running the marathon. Oh my word! She posted about her training schedule, and I can't get my head around it at all. I am not a runner, and props to you. You're amazing. But I can support you by buying a chart. And so Yasmin has a number of charts that she designed that if you buy them, that money goes to MenCap, and it's part of her sponsorship for the marathon. And I just love the colours in this. And I love that she's got the Polish alphabet in there as well as the English alphabet. And yeah, I really liked it. I like a lot of her designs actually, so I'm having to not go too mad, and I'm going to do this one. And so I've started kitting it up. I've got most of the threads, and I'm going to stitch it on. This is 18 count. It's not quite white. It's kind of an ice grey 18 count fabric, which I think that will look nice on. There's that. And then in Cross Stitcher magazine, because I get Cross Stitcher and World of Cross Stitch, they had this one called Snowdrop Cottage, and it caught my eye because I love snowdrops. I mean, I'm wandering around out at the moment, and you pass all the gardens and the parks, and they've all got snowdrops up at the minute, and I just love it. And so I really like this pattern. And then I saw in this month's Cross Stitcher, they have a spring one coming in the same series. So it looks like they're doing it as not a monthly, but a seasonal series. I'm a bit of a sucker for series. So I like this one. I've got all of the threads for it now. And I have ordered a pre-cut piece from Wool Warehouse of kind of a smoky grey 32 count even weave. And it's such good quality. I think it was only like £5.99 or something like that for this, which is going to be perfect for it. There's no need for it to put everything on hand dyed. So, although I do like the hand dyes. So that was all my haul. So plans. Whip go. I need to finish my February whip go. And then March whip go is the Prairie Schooler ABCs is number one. And I'm working on this one on A, but I decided, I think I talked about this last time, I'm just going to do A on this size and then restart the whole thing on a much smaller count fabric. And I think I'm going to do it on 25 count, not 28 count. So I need to get that fabric. So I'm going to spend whip go finishing this and kitting it up again to go all over again to do the whole alphabet on the smaller count. So that's that whip go piece. And the second whip go call for March for me was the Teresa Wentzler birth sampler. And here it is. And Teresa Wentzler's take forever. And I love it when I'm stitching on it, but it's been quite a hard one for me to pick up. So I think my children will be grown-ups by the time that birth sampler is finished. It's okay. It's not a priority, but it's nice to get some progress on it. So I should get 10 hours on those. Then later today, I'm a new start. And it's going to be the March one of the hands-on designs year of celebrations, the first one, the first kind of, yeah, because they have a second set out as well. So that one there, and that will go in there next year. And then in a couple of weeks, I want to start Spring by Lizzie Kate, that one there, to also go in my spring basket next year. So those two start are fully kitted, ready to go. And then at the end of this month, nearly the end of this month, I will be going to the um, Needle Essex Needles retreat at Stansted Airport Hotel, and it'll be my third time going, I think. And it's just a brilliant retreat. It's fabulous. There is Teresa Little Stitcher and Elaine Welly Stitcher run it, and it's just such a well-run retreat. And there's going to be games. There's going to be a raffle. There's going to be a stash sharing table. There's going to be shops there. Um, so I'm really, really, really looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing all of my Stitchy friends. And that weekend, I plan on starting Dragon from Atlantis by, can't pronounce it, Minek Designs. It's a really old pattern. I can't, really see them on sale anymore. I bought this at a stitching show a few years ago. They had it at the end of kind of a corridor of, stalls. And I saw it from probably about 30 meters away, and I just stopped. And I was just like, oh. No, because I mean, it doesn't look as good as it does. Oh, this is a really bad photo of it. It's stunning in real life. Yeah, stunning. And I had to have it. So I've fully kitted it up, and it's got a mixture of DMC and anchor threads, which I've never seen before in a pattern. It's either one or the other, but this is a mixture because I think there are some colours available in anchor that are not available in DMC and vice versa. So Wool Warehouse in the UK do sell anchor very reasonably, so I got all that lot. So it's all kitted up, but I don't like stitching on black. So I have got myself a piece of Maelstrom from Sparkly's 32 count even weave, and it's kind of a bluey, grey blue, stormy blue, and I think it's going to look gorgeous on it. So I will, hopefully the next time I see you, I'll be able to show you my start on that beauty. And that's all I've got to show you today. So yeah, next time hopefully I'll have my order from Nashville come through, and I'll be able to tell you about retreat and probably what I've spent my money on while I'm there. I have ordered a kit from Hawkins Hobbies, Serena. I messaged her because I have some birthday and Christmas money, and I've kind of put them together. And I've asked her to get me a kit for Bluebeard's Princess, the Mirabilia Mermaid. But I'm getting it without the fabric because Sparkly's is also going to be at the retreat with all of her gorgeous hand-dyed fabric on display. So I will be able to floss toss and pick out the right fabric that I want to use, and people's opinions and all the fun stuff that you get to do when all of these wonderful shops are at retreat. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to show you that kit as well next time. Okay, so thank you ever so much. Thank you everybody who's commented and liked and subscribed to my channel. I really, really appreciate it. And it's been so lovely when people have said that it's good to see me back and all of that kind of thing. And I hope to be able to make this a monthly thing going forward. Okay, yeah, happy stitching, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.